What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today when I talk to you about Ethereum Classic, I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down what's moving it and where it might be heading next. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So ETC is sitting at $18.79. It is starting to improve over the last 1 day. So as you can kind of see, just starting to move higher. And that is because of PCE. So this is going to give crypto a nice short-term boost higher. So that's kind of getting it away from the massive amount of fear that's been really suppressing it. But aside from that, 10.19 million, so that is fairly good. At least it's been kind of better than a lot of its comparables around that, but a lot of fear in the broader market. So as you can kind of see, the fear and greed index is 21. So under the fear category, the lowest it has been since pretty much 2023 or well past that. So there's a lot of fear. And in general, a lot of people overcomplicate crypto. There's just ultimately two things that move crypto: people's appetite for risk and consumers' buying power. That is it. Obviously, in some cases, you have some with individual lawsuits like Ripple. Those are individual catalysts. But for the most part, it's just those 2 points that really govern everything. And there's been a lot of inflationary fear that has been on the rise. And thus, through that would potentially affect consumers' buying power. And through that, people's appetite for risk. So ultimately, this is why you have seen crypto in many cases go down. So over the last 1 month, it is down 28.3%. So when it comes down to, let's go back over here. So as far as ETC, so Bitcoin is down 17.51% over the last 7 days, Ethereum down 23, Ripple down 21. So ultimately, when it comes down to ETC, the abnormally high volume for it, as I brought up, did kind of save it. So it is ranked number 35 based on the market cap. So last time I did an update, I think it was like 37. So over the last 7 days, it is down 13.17%, a lot better than its comparables. And that is because of the good volume that it's been getting. So let me know your general thoughts on that. As far as liquidations, you're still seeing longs close out majority versus shorts. But like I said, I think just a lot of people might be seeing some pretty good value at maybe these prices for ETC, and this is why they've been buying it up. Of course, some might be swing trading and getting out because of, like I said, just the longs liquidating. So even on yesterday, you have, was it 575.77 thousand in longs, day prior 159, and then ultimately what really hit it lower was on the 23rd when there was 2.1 million in longs. So shorts haven't really had any justified reason to return. So in general, it is what it is. But I think no matter what, though, this is showing that big money is actually buying into ETC and not selling. Take that with a grain of salt. Of course, some of these might be whales here, but based on that volume, like for instance, even 2.1, I don't see that being a whale whatsoever. But with it right now at $18.73, it is trading between this pivot and this R1. So it did just get above this absolute key resistance point. So $18.71. You really want to watch for it to stay above that if you're going to see any sort of recovery. 1906 is going to be that next strong kind of target for it, and then followed by 1928 and then 1964. In my opinion, I think the fear that's in the market, that's for like future inflation rising. And so I think what just came out for PCE, that's backdated. So I think it's a little bit not necessarily the same. So the fear most likely will still linger around, but this recent data that did come out, I think this will give justified cause for the market to really move higher for this weekend. So if you're looking at swing trades, I feel like this is a good opportunity to potentially get in. But long term, I feel like there is still a little bit more updates, positive updates that needs to come out in order for that inflationary fear to subside. So as far as at least swing trades, 1962 and then $20.53. Those will be the next strong kind of real targets. And so I feel like it could be achieved in my opinion. On the actual chart itself, I'm looking at the 1 hour. I have the also 50, 100 day moving averages, super trend, ALMA, stochastic RSI. So on the 1 hour, this is where you're seeing the market reacting to the recent PCE data and it really pushing higher. The reason why it's kind of hesitating right now is because there's a lot of heavy resistance right here. So in the past, it bounced off of that and has largely been trending down, but I feel like with that data and just the market wanting to be rather optimistic, it is going to push it above that. Looking at the 1 day though, this is obviously where you're seeing just the broader trend still being negative. So like I said, I feel like this weekend you will see a momentary blip higher, such as what happened here, but long term, I think it is still going to generally trend down. Stochastic RSI does indicate that it is very oversold, so that's kind of a good thing. As far as right now, the ALMA is at $18.85, so you really want to watch for it to get above that, and then potentially this is where you could see a nice push higher to maybe even that 50-day moving average, and that's sitting at roughly $23.10. So that might, you never know, with the level of optimism, you could see that potentially being touched, or you could see just somewhere in between based on a lot of the fib levels that I did bring up. So let me know your thoughts on ETC. Do you think it is going to move higher this weekend? What's your general takeaway from all of this? And do you agree with me that this is a good short-term buying opportunity, but still long-term not so much? Or what's your kind of 2 cents on all of that? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. Then one final thing, if you're looking for some kick-ass buy signals, pop over to my Patreon and get buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.